Okay. Holy shit. I did. Would you? o- Okay. Please? That is not the. Oh, fuck. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry. Streamlabs shit all over me. It really wanted to just fuck off, you know? I don't know what that was about. But while that was going on, and I was figuring that out, I was also scrolling through the Twitter sphere. I want to see something real quick. How is this? How does this microphone sound on everything? That's actually a little more faithful to my voice. But if we have both of them on, then we can get the actual, the double speak, the double speak, the double speak. Okay. Hey. Aw. My dummy shenanigans lost me a viewer. Okay. Well, this was one of the funniest fucking threads I've ever seen. It really was. It was just one of the funniest fucking threads. I don't like this microphone sound as much when I'm listening to it right now. I need to probably up my EQ settings. Boom. Make it to where it's not as. Ooh. Ooh. Hey. How's that? Okay. That's better. Anyways, I I was going through Twitter and I saw this thread because one of my friends shared it with their. They just drew random lines on the thing. And this was funny as shit. He's got no indigenous peoples lands. This person just drew dicks. It's just dicks. The United Dicks of America. I love how I'm just balls to Washington shaft just grinding on California. And you even remember the ring. This is just people crossing everything out. Bloom, bloom. I lost it. See, this one actually did okay. This one was pretty funny. This one was my favorite. I died. I laughed way too fucking hard at this shit. It's just, ah, yes, Texas. They did okay everywhere else, but right there, just, and right here, just absolute flops. Holy shit. I don't know. I found that absolutely hilarious. Present day shoreline. Damn. Okay. Anyways, that's that for the Twitter thread, because that's all I wanted to show you. Anyways, something else I was going over is the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. And what I've got here are the votes. This tells you every single vote. But it breaks down pretty well right here. who voted where. You've got 164 nays and 20 not voting. That's 184 people who didn't support a thing. And here, you have 1 nay and 5 not voting. Klobuchar didn't vote. Really, Klobuchar. Along with, okay, so Blackburn, Klobuchar, Rand Paul, Mike Lee, and whoever the fuck Smith is. So, 1, 2, 3 Republicans, 2 Democrats didn't vote. I don't know what the hell Klobuchar was doing there, or what Smith was doing there, but even Kirsten Sinema voted yeah on this. I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing. 94 yays. Which you would expect. But that means, okay, and the 1 no? Josh Hawley. Literally every other Republican that voted. So you got 3, 4 who didn't vote yes on the bill. 3 didn't vote. 1 said no. Every other person said yes. 94 people in the Senate. That's some unanimous consent shit right there. Which this is for the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. Same thing over here. 164 nays. Not voting. Nay. Nay. Look at this. A list of not votings and... Oh, wait. Fitzpatrick. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people in the House on the Republican side that voted yes. Meanwhile, Democrats, DeFazio didn't vote. Evans didn't vote. They could have had other... I'll give some credit to anyone who didn't vote. They could have had other committee assignments that they were in at that particular time. But this is like a full floor vote, so people came in and out all the time. O'Halloran didn't vote. I'm not seeing a nay. I'm seeing didn't votes, which is still bad. So you've got 1, 2, 3. 3 Democrats who didn't vote. Nobody who voted no. Nobody who voted present. 229 yes. Meanwhile, 14 yays, 20 not votings, 164 nays. So total, 164 people didn't vote. The 1 independent, who is Justin Amash, right? Yep, he voted present. And it's just condemning all forms of anti-Asian sentiment as related to COVID-19. That's it. It's a resolution. The Senate won nay. So, this ties into what I was talking about earlier by watching the presser and the thing with the Republicans not accepting the election. This all boils down directly to elections. That's what it was about. Elections. This is the consequences of elections. Not just for a president, because I did focus initially on the Biden thing, but overall, what I want you to realize is that these, because this is actually the text of the bill, and it's not super long. There was a whole shitload of amendments, 47 amendments. Don't lie to me. Okay, well, it's going to lie to me in one way or the other. DOJ must issue guidance for state, local, and tribal law enforcement agencies on establishing online hate crime reporting processes, collecting data disaggregated by protected characteristics, e.g., race or national origin, and expanding education campaigns. Additionally, DOJ and Department of Health and Human Services must issue guidance aimed at raising awareness of hate crimes during COVID-19. Oh, he already signed it. He signed it yesterday. Okay. Good. Good. I don't know why it's freaking out. There was text earlier. Oh. Okay, well. Either way, we got the votes on it. And we know. Republicans are, I mean, they are trying desperately in this regard to not be considered racist. They're like, no, we voted for the anti-Asian discrimination bill, the one that it says no. But then you look at the House. 14 Republicans voted yes. 20 decided not to vote. More of them decided not to vote than they did to vote yes. And a far larger amount, more than 10 times the amount that voted yes, voted no. More than 10 times. As a matter of fact, I'm not good at math. I am terrible at math. So, almost 12 times as many people voted no as they did yes in that party. 100% of Democrats that voted yes. 3 didn't vote. Fairly short list. DeFazio, Evans, and O'Halloran. So, consequences of elections. We got A, Biden into office over Trump. This is small cause for celebration. Not even that good. Let's face it, not that good. However, God, what is going on with this? Hello. Okay, that's actually more than was needed. Let's keep it at a good level. 19. There we go. Okay. Let's just do 23. There we go. A solid 23. Hey, that sounds actually way better. It allows the deepness in my voice to come out. Which isn't very deep, but I can lower it. I can speak in even lower form. So, what does this prove? Republicans, racist, alright? They try and save face in the smaller portion. They're like, hey, we get to vote yay in the Senate because there's less of us. One of you can vote no. And then some of you can just not vote. And then over in the House, where we've got more people that are supposed to be more representative of the population, we can show them. We can show them how racist the Republican Party really is. And we'll have most of you vote no. So 34 people total either voted yes or didn't vote, which puts 130 more people voting no than the other two vote positions combined. Now, other consequences of elections that we have evidence for is the change in the Senate, because the makeup of the Senate was previously more Republicans, but due to this latest election, we ended up getting I'm looking. Hold on. Raphael Warnock. Now this is a special election. And John Ossoff. But we also, I believe, we got some other people. I don't remember off the top of my head, though. We picked up a few seats. Not that many, though. We did get an even break in the Senate, thanks to 2 people and broken promises by Biden, which Bernie is also complicit in. Let me be real, alright? Bernie, wonderful politician, love the dude. However, he did fall in and become complicit in lying about the $2,000 checks. They promised $2,000 checks, not $1,400 plus the $200. Is this microphone too close? Is that what it is? Maybe. That might be too far. There we go. Probably right around here. But yeah, no, they promised us $2,000 checks, and we got $1,400 checks. And they're like, oh yeah, well, it's going to be $1,400 plus the $600 you already got from the last administration. That rounds out to $2,000. But that's not what we were promised. So there is criticism of Bernie to tie into the Biden thing. But we did gain control of the Senate. Now, granted, we didn't get the $2,000. We didn't get the extra $600 that we were promised. We have gotten some other stuff. People will lie and say that Biden has done nothing to push for $15 an hour minimum wage. I've gone over this a few times, and I will bring it up again because I like doing so. But there is a... Where is it? He did something in here with his... very last thing. April 27th. Increase federal contractor or employee minimum wage to $15 an hour. This right here So he put the $15 an hour minimum wage into his COVID relief plan. That got shut down. Manchin and Sinema were able to shut that down. They had two of them that were just like, no. Now, people are like, oh, well, that exact same thing could happen over in the House. You get two people to vote no, but there's not enough leverage in the House. The House is way more people. No. Plus the PR campaign nightmare that would ensue. There are reasons that it didn't go through, and you got to work around that. Instead of trying, and people are also like, oh, well, he can just overrule the parliamentarian. No, I mean he could, but also PR nightmare. The fucking Biden's an authoritarian. Impeach him. He's overruling the Senate parliamentarian. This is unheard of. This is unheard of. You can't be a dumbass when you approach situations. So he put the $15 an hour minimum wage plan or bill into the COVID relief plan. That got shut down. So what he did, people were like, oh, he's just going to give up. He's giving up on the fight. He's giving up. Biden's failing. Okay. He comes in and increases federal employee, contractor, and tipped workers' minimum wage to $15 an hour. Solid. And then he comes out in his speech, points to this as an example that will be like, it's not going to cost taxpayers anything, because when you lift you raise the bottom, everybody else raises up. It has a rippling effect through the economy and goes through the normal thing. And then he goes, so we need to, talking about things like this, we need to put a bill on my desk for a $15 an hour minimum wage, and I will sign it today. This tells me that Biden did not give up on that fight. Is he a little weak on it? Like, is he not putting on the strongest front? He's not coming in super aggro, like swinging, throwing haymakers left and right, like some of the populists want? No. I think he's taking a more subtle approach to it, which I'm not exactly enthused by. I do want him to come in swinging a little bit harder than he is now, but not the way that the fucking idiots that I see are talking about. Oh, he just needs to sign it as an executive action and force the government to accept it as policy. No, he can't do that, for one. That would be the cause for a legitimate impeachment. But yeah, no, like there's some weakness to what he's doing. I think he needs to sit Manchin and Sinema down and be like, hey, look. Actually, before I say anything and come across like a complete idiot, Kirsten. Okay, it is Kirsten. Yep, go away. Okay. Been in for 10 years. Last elected in 2018, 6-year run. So he will be up for re-election in the 2024. So his term will be up 2025. Yeah. Sinema, 2025, same thing. She assumed office in 2019. Was she? Okay. Other consequences, again, to elections are, well, this is a list. Some of them good, some of them meh, some of them performative, and some of them I don't really think are going to be very good. I'm not entirely sure. Keep aluminum tariffs on UAE, on the United Arab Emirates. There was some like repealing, unless I read that wrong both times I've gone over this. oh, the established COVID equity task force is pretty decent. Now, there is create task force to promote labor organizing, collective bargaining. What the fuck this is based. And there was another one that was restore collective bargaining power for federal workers. That doesn't sound like a super neoliberal position to me. I don't know. Does it sound that way to y'all? Because it sounds pretty cool to me. Overall, that sounds fairly nice. Okay, is it this one? This one may be just a little too high. Boom, boom. Compressor. So, wait, up it. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then on the noise gate, I'm going to come up here, and it's already set to really high. Yeah, so this is actually pretty good. Not too bad. And this, I'm actually just going to set to 4.3, I guess. Or 5.4. There we go, so that anything I say still gets picked up. Okay, that's solid. Anyways, the major consequences of elections come through policy positions that the president can support and through the down ballot races. That's federally. In your local election, your legislator is top priority. Your governor can try and do things can like veto a bill, but if your legislator is more in alignment with your ideals, the majority of them are. If you can get a 2/3 override, then it doesn't matter what the fuck your governor vetoes. Now, having a governor that will work in tandem with a state legislator to push a leftist agenda is preferable. If you could get somebody as left as Bernie Sanders as a governor in, say, the state of Oklahoma, as opposed to the dumb fuck we have now, Kevin Stitt. Let's say we got somebody as far left as Bernie, not Bernie himself, but somebody that holds very similar to positions to Bernie does, today. That'd be nice. That would be a huge step to moving Oklahoma towards the left. Now, the current residents would throw a bitch fit, but that's a different matter entirely. You get a legislator that is 2/3 agreeing with my positions, and, well, you suddenly have a leftist state in the sense of the United States, individual groupings of territory. But yeah, you would have a state that is a leftist state in America. Now, what would this do? Well, several things. For one, you'd be able to start improving lives of people in your state immediately, which, given the way that the government seems to operate quite often, if you are able to do things inside the Constitution, which there are lots of things that a leftist governing body, say in Oklahoma, could do, you could improve the lives of people in the state almost overnight, like super quick. On top of being able to uh, reach out with the federal government to try and push them on certain issues. You're setting an example of how a leftist state, quote unquote, could work. Thus, if you if you do it effectively, you do it well, get reelected, keep going, keep it, and 2, 3, 4 election cycles, You keep the leftist agenda up, then what this will do is create kind of a ripple effect throughout the country, especially if a right-wing bastion like the state of Oklahoma suddenly got a lefty legislator and governor. Well, out of nowhere, this bastion of conservatism in this fucking country would be able to show the biggest impact. It would be the biggest thing. Like California going from its, you know, liberal progressive state to a full-on like lefty state wouldn't be a big thing, wouldn't be a big shocker to the average conservative across the country. They would just look at it and go, it's California. It was already communist. They just did more communism? What do you mean? Same thing for like New York or Oregon or whatever. But if you look at Oklahoma, and Oklahoma goes, lefty governor, lefty legislator, and it starts working, what do you think that's going to do to the areas around it, like Kansas and Texas, with its outreachings towards like Arkansas and shit? Let me just point out, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Colorado's already pretty based, Kansas, Missouri. You know, this area right here is a super conservative area. Heart of the Bible Belt right here, you know? So, if a leftist influence sets hold here in the legislature and in the governing body, it will spread. Texas is already starting to move more left because they're getting large population centers like Austin and Houston and Dallas, which are huge cities. And they're starting to get more and more left-leaning, which is why Beto O'Rourke almost unseated Ted Cruz. If Beto wasn't a dumb fuck and came running around talking about how he's going to take your guns, hell yeah, I'm going to take your guns. No. You dumbass. That is the way to lose everybody. But if Beto had been essentially Beto without the gun thing, he probably would have just trounced Cruz. Because Cruz is hated. And then you'd have a blue senator in Texas. But if Oklahoma became a lefty state, as in the state governing body became lefty, that would have a ripple effect. Texas's, like the one in Texas, would start turning to the left. Kansas would have pressures from Oklahoma and Colorado to start moving left. Nebraska, especially if like Mark Gudgel wins his mayoral race in Omaha, and Lincoln starts doing this, and it starts he could start influencing there. But yeah, we would reach Arkansas and Missouri, which Missouri and Arkansas would be the hardest to hit. New Mexico has Arizona, which does have uh, Maricopa County, but it also is next to New Mexico, which has some fairly left-leaning positions in some of the ways, although it's kind of conservative as well. Colorado, like this right here could start spreading leftism, because you've got California spreading it this way, and New York and Maine and everything spreading it this way, and then, you know, obviously it's coming down from Canada and up from Mexico, but no, it could start spreading through Texas, because the lefty movements in Texas and stuff with like Redneck Revolt and there's one that's like Rebel something or other that are left-leaning organizations. They're actually taking hold and spreading pretty decent leftist, like pushing people left in Texas and Louisiana and shit. So you could get that spreading all throughout here with influence from Oklahoma and Colorado, and then it just kind of just spreads, and America becomes the leftist and an entirely left-leaning state apparatus within 20 years. That's right, we'll hit Alaska and Hawaii. And then after that, boom, no more state. Open borders. Global communism. 5 years later. America falls to leftism, and by falls to, I mean picks up leftism as a guiding ideology, which is objectively better than what we've been doing. Communism follows 5 years after. Everyone in the world would be communist. Everyone. Canada, communist. Mexico, communist. Japan, communist. Israel, communist. Brazil, communist. Everyone. Within the span of 30 years, we can make the world communist if Oklahoma becomes a leftist state. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Let's get out there and do this. Let's spread this bread. That's hype. That's what we need to do. Make Oklahoma a leftist state. 30 years later, communism all over the world. That's it. I've cracked the code, boys. We're in. Now, the biggest obstacles to being able to do this, idiot boomers and people older than them, as well as the Nazis. There is an issue with that. You know, we kind of have a proportionally small Nazi infestation in this country. I think they need to be taught a Roblox style lesson. You know, nothing bad, you know, it's just Roblox, it's just in a video game. But, you know, teach them, give them some education, if you will. Blast out the brainworms, and maybe, just maybe, that will improve our chances. Maybe. Probably, actually. If we just got rid of the Nazis in the country, we just made it, like, illegal to be a Nazi or whatever. Done. Now, the other issue, which is admittedly not nearly as bad as the Nazi or white nationalist issue. I am kind of saying Nazi is a general thing for all white nationalists, which is a little unfair. There are fascists out there who don't believe in the JQ or anything. You can't fairly categorize them as Nazis. Orthogonal to Nazism, yes. But actual Nazis, no. But they are fascists. The point, or the smaller issue, one that I still find to be a slight issue, is the general American understanding of libertarianism. Because there's some things about libertarianism. Okay, libertarians want to roll corporate power into the state, where they cooperate. American libertarians want to get rid of the state, as in like the government having a monopoly of force, and they want everything to be farmed out to corporations. They don't want to roll the power of the state into the power of corporations. They want to abolish the power of the state and hand it over to corporations. This is slightly different. So you can't really call them full-on fascists. The effects are almost the same. Now, to be fair, there are people in America who call themselves libertarians who aren't this way. But there is a large contingent of people who run in the Libertarian Party in America who seem to think this kind of way. I actually have a couple of friends who are libertarians. Like, they are in the Libertarian Party. They voted for fucking Joe Jorgensen or whatever. They're cool. We share a lot of the same positions. There are some things that they will believe in that I'm not entirely like on board with. They're pretty anti SJW type thing. Um, not big on the political correctness. And there are some elements to that that I can see, but overall, nah, it's fine. Like, don't worry too much about it. People aren't getting fucking murdered and re-educated over any of this stuff. Political correctness isn't a, like, you'll be arrested for it kind of thing. It's like a, hey, that's a social faux pas. We've been doing that for thousands of years. So, I don't, I don't understand where this perception that if we embrace political correctness, we're gonna like all get killed or whatever. That's a pretty common conservative talking point, and I've seen, sadly, in some pretty what I thought were okay libertarian circles, like not on Reddit because I don't fucking use Reddit, but on Twitter. And you just scroll through and you see, oh, as a libertarian or in the libertarian categories and shit, people saying things like, if we allow political correctness to take root, the government's gonna kill us if we misgender a person. No, that's not gonna happen. No, no. The least objectionable take I've seen on this one from somebody who identifies as libertarian is one about it being like Orwellian and how it'll lead to thought crimes or whatever. Because that one is a little more overt. I still don't think it's a smart take on things. But, you know. Oh my god. Sorry. Had to go. I was checking the. What is it? I had to check the Facebook thing because that's where I saw one of the takes, and my friend is talking about Bill C-16 and how misgendering somebody. Oh my god, no. This is why Jordan Peterson is a fucking toxic stain on discourse. Get Jordan Peterson out of your fucking life, okay? Remove Jordan Peterson. Don't watch Jordan Peterson. Don't consume Jordan Peterson. Don't read or think about Jordan Peterson. He's a fucking idiot. I've spoken to other psychologists who have looked at Jordan Peterson's work and said, wow, this guy, as far as his work in his actual field, I don't know how he got a doctorate. I don't. And as far as his like self-help shit, there's some advice in there that can be useful, and there's a lot of shit in there that is ideological bullshit. And when it comes to his political takes, he knows nothing. Jordan Peterson knows nothing about politics. Jordan Peterson knows fucking nothing about, apparently, scientific like research and shit, even though he's a psychologist. He's a doctor of psychology, and he doesn't know how fucking gender and bimodal distributions work. I hate it. Get Jordan Peterson out of here, alright? Get him the fuck out. He's done. He is canceled. I Sandwich Pants, Daniel Sandwich Pants, here today with my 34 subscribers. I'm canceling Jordan Peterson. He's done. He's never working in this town again. No sweaty. Not happening. Like, fuck me, dude. The ACLU, which did used to defend white nationalists' right to free speech, which I can understand the reasoning why they would, but at the same time, it did more harm than good, so the fact that they don't do it now, I think is actually better. I disagree with defending white nationalists' right to free speech. Fuck them. And by that, okay, I will clarify. I don't think they deserve to have a public platform. I don't think they deserve to have the ability to speak at universities and shit. I don't think they should have the right to be able to go into a McDonald's without being kicked out, if the McDonald's so chooses. Fuck them. They're white nationalists. They're a stain, and they're useless. Get them the fuck out of here. Jordan Peterson is also a stain and is also useless for mildly different reasons. He is a useful idiot to the far right and white nationalists and shit, but he himself does argue against them on those points. So you can't lump him into the white nationalist grouping fully. Now, adjacent to, provides useful arguments for, yes. And then he also argues against them on things as well. He's like, no, I don't believe any of this stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. How could you compare me to the Red Skull when my favorite people to talk to are fucking Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes type individuals? I don't think Jordan Peterson's ever actually spoken to Nick Fuentes, which, good. I'm kind of hungry. By kind of hungry, I mean I'm fairly hungry. It is 8:44 p.m. My total stream time, I think, is like 2 hours at this point. How long is this video? I don't care. How long is it? That's not the right one. God damn it! Okay. Hour and 29 minutes. No. Currently live. So 129 minutes plus the 50 minutes here. So almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. We've already been going over 2 hours if you consider that. Hell yeah. Anyways, that's actually probably going to be it for me. I really do appreciate you having tuned in. See, look at all these spikes. And then all the way over to here. This is a long duration for a concurrent viewer. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you all having tuned in. This is definitely going to be it for me. I need to go and get some food into my belly because I have not eaten since 11 o'clock. Yeah. If you liked the stream, go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that goddamn bell notification. Hit the bell. Do it. Do it. You won't regret it. You you won't. You won't regret it. I promise. Actually, you might. I don't know. That's up to you. Uh, all that stuff. Take care of yourselves and tune in for the next one. I guess. Please. Thank you. Thanks. Y'all are wonderful. All right. Anyone who watches my stream is a sex god. Keep that in mind.